Introduction. After reincarnation for several lifetimes, Mubai, who has experienced many worlds, chose stability on the Tivat continent. And just as he was about to enjoy his life of slacking off, the previous life exposure system suddenly came. Not only the Genshin Impact world, but also the disintegrating world and the starmetal world. Mu Bai's past is suspended on the giant screen, exposed one by one. First Age. Iron Man. Tony Stark. When there is a scene of the fourth couplet, Mu Bai makes a snap of his fingers, everyone pays tribute collectively, then every life of Mu Bai appeared in front of everyone. Funina. You have sacrificed so much for peace in your heart, and you feel lonely like me, right? Zhong Li said, I am deeply moved by the human body's resistance against the gods during this trip. Naxida. Your wisdom is far above me, the god. Kiana. I will always uphold his beliefs. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Exposure of previous lives, the world outside of Tivat. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Tivat Continent. Liyue Port. Bustle and bustle, endless stream. Looking down from the tea house, the crowd was peaceful and peaceful. Mu Bai raised his teacup and took a light sip. After savoring the fragrance of the tea soup, he sighed. This is life. Unlike the leisurely retirement life here, the listeners downstairs were in a noisy group. The current gold medal Iron Mouth. Master Tian has not yet played. So now the stage belongs to the 7 aunties and the 8 gentlemen. After all, these viewers are not fuel-efficient lamps either. The crowd was constantly discussing gossip about Liyue, and even began to arrange stories between the gods. Do you know that people really have past lives? Aren't you taking off your pants and farting? Do you think the screen in the sky is fake? Hey, have you heard of it? It's said that a few days ago, there was a big vibration in Liyue. I don't know why. It seems that the king of rock saw his wife in his past life and wanted to continue his relationship with her. Listening to the increasingly outrageous rumors downstairs, the emperor sitting next to Mu Bai's face was a bit uneasy. The hand holding the tea cup froze in place. Although Zhong Li only paused for a moment, he was still noticed by Mu Bai on the side. Knowing that the amplitude of the movements was minimal, Zhong Li was still amazed by the man's perception beside him. I couldn't help but continue to look up at Mu Bai. As a guest in the Hall of Rebirth, Mu Bai's body is always shrouded in a layer of mist, which fills the curiosity of Zhong Li, one of the 7 gods, the Rock King Emperor. Mu Bai, a mysterious person who came to the Hall of Rebirth a year ago. It only took a few days to rejuvenate the Hall of Rebirth. A few suggestions were put forward to expand the business differently. Make the funeral hall of Liyue a success. Sales and profits have directly increased by an unknown number of times. In the words of a certain master who, 100 more hours away from the guest is enough. Just as Zhong Li was reminiscing about Mu Bai, the screen in the sky instantly exploded. In the blue sky, a huge light curtain came into view. Not just in Liyue. Mond, Inami, Sumi, Fengdan, and even on the top of the snowy mountain, one can clearly see such a huge light curtain. Everyone on the land of Tivat, as long as they are willing to look up, can see such a scene. Even on the so-called Sky Island, such a light curtain is clearly visible. And this light curtain suddenly descended on the land of Tivat a few days ago. Previous life exposure screen. Watching the sudden change in the screen, Zhong Li and Mu Bai both raised their heads. Unlike Zhong Li's curiosity, the emotions expressed in Mu Bai's eyes were very complex. There are nostalgia, joy, and reluctance. However, there is still more relief. That's right. Mu Bai is not a member of the Tivat indigenous people, but a long reincarnated traveler. He remembers saving the universe once. With one's own strength, fight against the gods. I also remember entering a world full of demons with myself. I have been a ninja in legend and killed something called a ghost in a certain world. Too many memories mixed together. Endless battles and confrontations. Until we arrived at the continent of Tivat. The current Tivat is his retirement welfare world. In other words, he is here to retire. Tired of fighting and killing, I just want to lie flat and rest. At this moment, a magnetic sound rang from the side. Pull Mu Bai, who is reminiscing about his past, out of his own world. Mu Baking seems absent-minded. It's better to concentrate when tasting tea. Such high-quality tea leaves are rare. Mu Bai was speechless, looking at the empty teapot in front of him. Zhong Li, I have only had 1 cup of this pot of tea in total, and the rest seems to be yours. In terms of universal rationality, I reminded you. It's just that your reaction is a bit slow. Zhong Li, sitting on the side, remained calm and contented, continuing to taste the last cup of tea in his hand. Zhong Li's body was still very honest, and he helped Mu Bai order another pot of tea. After all, Mu Bai can be considered as the Gold Lord of the Rebirth Hall, so he still needs to give face. However, Zhong Li was amazed when he remembered the aura of Mu Bai's sudden passing just now. As one of the 7 gods, Zhong Li felt like he was in an abyss without a bottom at that moment. Only 4 words appear in my mind. Unstoppable. No one has ever given Zhong Li such terrifying and explosive pressure. Even the one on Sky Island. It's not possible either. Just as Zhong Li recalled the moment of oppression, the screen in the sky once again changed. In an instant. A clear and incomparable sound came from the sky and reached everyone's ears. The sound was not loud, but it echoed through Tivat. Everyone instinctively drew by the sound and looked up at the light curtain in front of them. But in front of the huge screen in the Tivat sky, words that everyone could understand flickered. Previous life exposure system, start randomly extracting. This time we are selecting countries, Liyue. This system will elevate the continent of Tivat and expose all unknown hidden stories. Ding, the person who was exposed in this past life, the draw is over. The person who was exposed in the past life, the mysterious guest of Liyue, the deceased guest of the hall, Mu Bai. In an instant, a handsome face appeared before everyone's eyes. However, before some people could fully appreciate the benefits of the heavenly descent, the light curtain changed again. The originally transparent light curtain seemed to have shattered, and countless cracks appeared in the transparent sky. Terrifying. Then the sky fell into a strange calm. Not yet waiting for everyone to bow their heads. The font on the screen exploded again. With the sound of mechanical sounds constantly swirling. Everyone seems to know that the exposure this time is extraordinary. Exposure system upgrade completed. The person exposed this time is extremely involved in a past life of turmoil. Now add the causal relationship between the collapse world and the collapse sky railway universe to the exposure system. The barrage system has been opened. The extraordinary chat group has opened the scrolling text above the canopy. Shocked people from all 3 worlds. Dear readers, please vote for the flowers in your hands. Thank you very much. Chapter 2. Extraordinary Chat Group, Forward Exposure. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Different worlds, the same posture. Countless people lifted their heads and looked at the screen in the sky. People in the 3 worlds speak similar words. Originally, besides the world we live in, there are different worlds. Is the theory of parallel universes really true? Don't buy and play with your fake science, it doesn't match what you're saying. Is there anyone like me who thinks Mu Bai is very powerful? Yes. Mu Bai is truly mysterious. He connects 3 worlds alone, and I'm curious about what he did in his past life. Listening to what you said, that's really true. Who is he, the divine? I'm different from you guys, they just think brother Mu Bai is so handsome, steamed shrimp head. However, most of these are communication between ordinary people. Marvel at the mystery of Mubai. Even the body that greedily admires white. And the true extraordinary has already been in the water group of the extraordinary chat group. In the extraordinary chat group, countless golden bullet comments float by. Starcore Hunter Silver Wolf. Wow, what kind of new game is this? With such a large light screen, I want to take the top spot on the leaderboard. Space Station Black Tower. I remember just froze your 76 game accounts. You were in a good mood quite quickly, Genius Club Ruan Mei. Is this related to creating life? You can refer to it for reference. Masked Fool Fireworks. It looks so interesting. Looking forward to finding fun. Unknown Galaxy Batman. Rules. It's for breaking. Wendy. Many people I don't know. I feel like this exposure is quite interesting. Kelly. Captain Chin is not here, and today is also the day when I want to go fry fish. Chin. Yes. Lee. Walnut. Indeed, this kind of thing was created by Mu Baking. Only he is so smart. Sure enough, you guessed it right. Pemin. It seems that Walnut knows something related to Mubai, Traveler. Collapse of Kiana. Wow, what a big screen. Wow, there are so many people. Yay, look, look. Breaking 3 Thunderbolt Sprout clothes. Sorry, Kiana was too excited today. She's not usually like this. Collapse 3 Alicia. Everyone looks so interesting. Nice to meet everyone. In this extraordinary chat group, a large number of lively group members start to bubble up and get to know each other. Zhong Li stopped looking up at the barrage. Turning to the island above the sky. Sky Island. At the level of natural principles, such a feat cannot be accomplished. Crossing the 7 gods, facing everyone directly, and even breaking down barriers between the worlds. Zhong Li turned his head and looked at Mu Bai beside him, feeling lost in thought. With his terrifying power, it may really be related to this so-called exposure system. Tivat continent. Mond, the wind blows on the ground. A bard wearing a green hat sat under a tree. Looking at the light curtain on the horizon and the constantly bouncing barrage. What a long-lost sense of freshness. Mouth murmured. But the hand did not stop. Take the wine obtained from performing arts beside you and pour it into your mouth. Rice wife. Top of Tianshou Pavilion. A milky knife. A lightning-shaped long sword slashed towards the sky, and the endless thunder seemed to tear everything apart. The thunder element constantly resonates, dyeing the sky of Inami's wife purple. No thought. Cut it off. There is smoke but no harm. The canopy still stands there. There is no slightest change. General Thunderbolt frowned and withdrew his knife from his hand. The unchanging eternity is the direction we are pursuing. Well, let me take a look at what's going on with products from outside the world. Shimmy countless scholars have begun to discuss the principle of this light curtain. But they all got nothing. It seems that I have felt the doubts and curiosity of my subjects. The imprisoned little grass god also opened his eyes and observed the light curtain. Feng Dan. Standing in the opera house as a water god, Funina overlooks the faces of all living beings. Looking at the sky, my eyes kept flowing. And the Faucet King Novelette, who was standing aside, also noticed this phenomenon. It seems that even the gods don't know what this is. Collapse, Star Dome Railway. Star Dome Train. Observation Carriage. Red-haired Jeezy and mature and steady Uncle Walter sat on the sofa. Stare at this sudden screen. Chatting with a girl who likes to flip through the trash can on March 7th. Cold-faced little green dragon Danhang has searched all the think tanks but there is no news related to this. My eyebrows furrowed tightly. Luofu Immortal Boat. An unknown tape.c. Fu Xian looked at the screen above the sky and watched as the formation continued to move. But no matter how many calculations are made, there is only one result. Unable to measure. Collapse of the three worlds. Tianming headquarters. Pure love for the god of war Otto. Looking at the light curtain above the sky, my mind is constantly calculating. This so-called exposure of his past life may contribute to his plan. The heart that had been silent for a long time began to beat again. Just when everyone was looking forward to it, Mu Bai, as the party involved, seemed somewhat indifferent. Youth, nostalgia is not impossible. Anyway, for him, everything he has done is worthy of his heart. And when Zhong Li saw Mu Bai's attitude on the side, he was also very curious. Mu Bai, aren't you curious about what your past life was? Mu Bai is not in a hurry. I took a sip of the newly served tea. Since it has already happened, then accept it calmly, he said slowly. Zhong Li glanced at Mu Bai and nodded, but did not continue. I secretly gave a thumbs up to Mu Bai in my heart. Under everyone's waiting, the light curtain finally underwent a change again. The soft light flashed away in a flash. In an instant, pull everyone's spirit into a unique place. Here, it feels like being in a 5D cinema, incredibly realistic. Moreover, the behavior of the light curtain seemed to soothe people's hearts, and no one felt fear. The freshness has not dissipated yet. Golden subtitles flooded in. Attention everyone, the first episode of Past Life Exposure begins. Marvel Universe World, main character of this episode. Mubai, Tony Stark. Iron Man, prospective keywords for this issue. The Avengers in the body of a mortal, on par with a deity, body of flesh and blood, heart of steel. An unparalleled genius. The prodigal son returns without exchanging gold. I love you 3,000 times, I am Iron Man. Dedicated to providing everyone with a wonderful experience, immersive viewing has been launched. The new book period data is particularly important. I hope all readers can strongly support me. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Even comments are welcome. Every comment author will read it. Accept any suggestions and opinions. Chapter 3. Iron Man coming on stage. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Audiences, please stay tuned. In the extraordinary chat group. Everyone has already exploded. Using the mortal body to fight against the gods. It sounds very shocking. Indeed, in terms of universal rationality, those who have achieved such accomplishments are not ordinary people, said Zhong Li, a retired cousin, indeed handsome, that person named Mu Bai. I recognize your title with just one fight. It's not surprising to think of Mu Bai's past life, said Hu Tao, chairman of the Shishingtang group. Loved you 3,000 times, it seems like you are a very loving person. We should have a lot of topics. Alicia, a mediocre immortal boat general, Jingyuan. Avengers Alliance. Is it a fate related to hunting? Thai pants are spicy, said Sano, a person who likes to tell jokes. Traveler. I don't know if there is any news about my brother in this universe. I need to quickly and properly record it. Maybe there is my background among this exposed character. Starcore Hunter. Silver Wolf. It seems that it is still a high-level product from the outside world, and with my abilities, I have not found any trace in the entire universe. Mom, Kafka. It seems even our little Silver Wolf has this kind of time, the existence above the gods. Let me see what you truly are, said Water Dragon King Navlet Paramecium, Kiana. Anti-Jeezy, today's training can be stopped. I feel this is really interesting. Starry Sky Railway Navigator, GZ. This grass. Kiana, are you calling me? Sorry, there's another one, GZ. I'm her teacher, I'm sorry to trouble you. QAQ, said GZ from Collapse 3, stay tuned. Why is there no more text left? Yeah, the promised exposure hasn't started yet. Hurry up, all the flowers I've been waiting for are about to wither. What's wrong? Why are you in such a hurry? Is this person very powerful in your world? I can't say if Li is powerful, but Mu Bai is very mysterious. Just knowing that he made a slight move, he turned Shishing Tang into the largest commercial group in Chuanliu. Is he really so powerful? Then I'll have to take a good look at his past life. No, little kitten brother, why is this so slow? It seems like looking at the past life of the handsome Mu Baking. The heated discussion was not over yet, and the huge screen finally shone brightly. Everyone stopped at the same time, looking at the dazzling screen of light. The video officially starts playing. This issue of Past Life Exposure will also involve the past lives of characters from 3 different worlds. At the beginning of the screen, there is a lively melody. A, C, D, C. An endless sand and gravel road, surrounded by towering mountains. Accompanied by rock songs, everyone's hearts seem to relax. A well-prepared American military anti-missile armored convoy gallops along the way. A well-equipped army with ubiquitous firearms. The patrol guards standing on top of the armored vehicle are constantly adjusting their direction. Aim the machine gun at any potential threat. You can tell at a glance. The target of this military escort is very important. A harsh environment, wild rock. At this moment, a strange harmony has been achieved. The camera changes again. Accompanied by rock and roll, everyone's gaze came to an armored vehicle. What caught the eye was a glass of wine that looked expensive. In such an atmosphere, one can easily taste fine wine. This person must have a big heart. Just one image immerses everyone in it. Curious about the following story. Not letting them down, the next second the screen was aimed at Iron Man. Tony Stark, Munich. Wearing provocative red glasses, holding a glass of expensive wine in his hand. As the car jolted, the ice cubes in the wine glass kept shaking. Clashing against the wine glass, there was a clanging sound. In an instant, the screen in the sky has changed. A line of inconspicuous subtitles emerged. Although dim, it is also organized and clear. Iron Man Tony Stark, Mubai, is this Mubai's past life? I don't feel as handsome either. It's just that, Jime, let's leave soon. Why is he called Iron Man? I can't even tell that this person doesn't seem to have anything to do with steel. I agree with what the upstairs said, +1. Plus 10,086. Not waiting for these people to marvel at the appearance of Mu Bai's past life. A different sound came from the screen. That's Tony Stark's voice. Hey, why aren't you all talking? I've talked all the way, buddy. You've made me really embarrassed like this. Are you going to send me to a military court? Poisonous tongue without losing humor. Finally, the young soldier closest to Mu Bai couldn't resist. What exactly are we going to say, sir? How could you speak? Oh, my goodness. At this moment, a feminine voice came. No, sir. They're just a little afraid of you. Upon hearing this different sound, Mu Bai immediately took up the blame. Oh my goodness. Where did the angel come from? You're actually a woman. I really didn't see it. I have to say, madam. Does the military emphasize gender equality? I first see you as a soldier. You're really out of sight. To be honest, your figure is really good. I'm a bit. I want to take a few more glances at you. In just a few words, the atmosphere of the stagnant pool was revitalized. Laughter and joy immediately came from inside the carriage. It has to be said that Mu Bai has a good control atmosphere. After all, he is the little prince of the nightclub. The active soldiers finally became less nervous. Following the slightly colorful topic just now, we started chatting. The soldier and the co-pilot turned his head. With a somewhat restrained smile, he said. Sir, I have a question to ask you. I don't know if it's convenient for you. Of course, I'm honored. I haven't finished speaking yet. Mu Bai will continue with this conversation. The soldier paused for a moment, then said shyly. Someone said. Last year, the girls on the monthly magazine cover of Model Star were all former girlfriends of yours. New book seeking data. I hope all readers can strongly support me. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Chapter 4. Unexpected accidents. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mu Bai finished listening to the soldier's question. This question is very good. Then he took off his seductive red glasses and revealed his true appearance. It's strange to say. Glasses are like a beauty sealer. Mu Bai, who took off his glasses, was one level more handsome than before. Without thinking, Mu Bai blurted out. Is it true or not? The model who appeared in the magazine in March has some scheduling conflicts with me. Fortunately, the one in December is twins. After speaking, the entire carriage, except for Mu Bai, was full of smiles. At the same time, a large number of bullet comments kept drifting by. I seem to understand what prodigal son means. Mr. Mu Bai's past life was truly a model for our generation. Mu Bai's life seems to be a bit too enjoyable and flavorful. Sure enough, Brother Mu Bai's past life was also very handsome. I want to be Brother Mu Bai's dog. Within the extraordinary chat group. Chairman of Shishing Tang Group, Hu Tao. Yo, you can't tell that Mu Baking was so charming in his past life, it seems that Mu Bai may have many topics with me. They are all passionate about creating life, said Ruan Mei, a genius club. Ruan Mei, when did you become so damaged? Ha ha ha, said the wise great scientist, Haida, Mu Bai's love is like a flyer on the street, everyone has a share, said Sano, a person who likes to tell jokes, Thunder God, Thunder Movie. Unreasonable people, watch my unimaginable blow. No matter how the bullet screen and chat group react, the light screen still plays. Mu Bai didn't take the expressions of the passengers in the carriage seriously. Continuing. Gentlemen, oh, there's also a beautiful lady. Do you have any other questions? At this moment, the soldier sitting at the back of the car with Mu Bai silently raised his hand. Mu Bai looked at the soldier next to him with some confusion. Brother, why do you raise your hand when you're free? The soldier said foolishly, Sir, is it an honor to take a photo with you? It's really not easy. After finishing speaking, the soldier began to lean towards Mu Bai. I took out my phone and looked forward to taking photos with Mu Bai. No one expected that the genius Mu Bai would have such a kind side. Just when we were about to take a group photo. Mu Bai is still talking nonsense. Peace. I hate peace because it would make me lose my job. As soon as the conversation ended, the camera shutter had not been pressed yet. A loud bang rang out. The armored vehicle, which claims to be able to resist missiles, is actually vulnerable to a single blow. At the moment of being hit, the armored vehicle in front of Mu Bai immediately split into pieces. Mu Bai's car immediately stopped. Some Mu Bai, who had not reacted yet, froze in place. There is an enemy attack on the left. The voices of the soldiers rang out. Only then did he bring the attacked Mu Bai back to reality. What's wrong? Mu Bai asked the soldier just now. No one answered him. Jimmy, protect Mr. Mu Bai well. The captain of the team spoke to Jimmy, who was sitting in the back carriage with Mu Bai. He picked up his gun and charged towards the enemy. In just a few seconds, the team leader was killed by flying bullets. Seeing this scene, Jimmy, who had just wanted to take a group photo, couldn't sit still. He knew very well that their goal was to protect Mr. Mu Bai well. Quickly picked up the rifle in his hand, opened the car door, and rushed out. Mu Bai looked at Jimmy, who wanted to leave, feeling a bit flustered. Wait. Wait. Wait, you can't. Jimmy's gaze was firm. Sir, please stay there and don't move. Close the car door and rush out without hesitation. However, where is the safe place for this car? In an instant, another missile flew by. Just the power of penetration will kill all the soldiers who have just fought. The car that Mu Bai was riding on was instantly riddled with wounds and holes. The sudden shockwave made Mu Bai dizzy and dizzy. Mu Bai's heart sounded an alarm. The idea of survival in the mind transforms into primitive motivation. Driving Mu Bai away from the vehicle, he ran towards the outside. Escape, if you don't run, you'll really die. However, as soon as I got off the car, the incoming stray bullets had a target. Continuously attacking towards Mu Bai. After being affected by the shock wave of the missile, Mu Bai crawled and arrived near a protruding stone. Mu Bai, panting heavily, picked up the phone in his hand. Quickly sent a distress message to his friends. The good times don't last long. Mu Bai, who thought he had escaped a disaster temporarily, once again flashed a missile beside him. On the body of the missile, there are clear markings. Stark Industries, Mubai Industries. The panicked Mu Bai immediately pulled out his legs and ran away. Because he knows the power of this missile. However, relying solely on physical strength cannot achieve speed faster than missiles. Just hear a loud roar. Mu Bai, who was affected by the missile, exploded and flew out. I was in a daze for a long time. I felt a sharp pain coming from my chest. Mu Bai slowly opened his shirt, and bright red blood seeped out along the bulletproof vest. Mu Bai's injury looks very serious. I'm a bit worried about him, said Alicia. Why do people have to fight each other? I really can't figure it out, said Alicia. Mr. Mu Bai seems to have a very serious injury. Should we seek treatment as soon as possible? The cruelty of war has always been so. I'm a bit worried about Mu Bai's past life. In the extraordinary chat group, everyone is discussing fiercely at this moment. The scene changed. What caught the eye was a burlap bag. After the burlap bag was lifted, Mu Bai's face was covered in blood stains. Mu Bai's mind was extremely confused at the moment. The noise and intense physical pain made it impossible for him to think on his own. My eyes kept flowing, observing the surroundings. The words kept coming, but I couldn't understand a single word. Feeling my own arm, but unable to move at all. The screen gradually widens. Numerous terrorists were gathering next to Mu Bai, wearing masks and holding guns. Kidnapping. 2 words flashed through Mu Bai's mind. New book seeking data. I hope all readers can strongly support me. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Chapter 5. Mu Bai, he only knows about work. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Extraordinary chat group, Kaya. Is this the beginning of Rocket? Just when he saw the joy, Mu Bai was attacked. Hu Tao said, Mu Baiking's past life has been filled with ups and downs. Archbishop of Destiny, Otto. Interestingly unfolding, using jokes to relax people's attention. Let's take another look at the past life of Mu Bai, which is a bit interesting. The little girl who enjoys watching fireworks. Keep going, it feels like this is a fun thing, it should be very enjoyable, hee hee. March 7th, you can see the joyful believers upstairs. Galaxy Batman, star. I agree with upstairs. Walter Young. No nesting. Hey. The other me in the world. Mr. Mu Bai. This past life experience has been somewhat painful. Mr. Mu Bai seems to have a high status, and the soldiers just now are all dedicated to protecting him. Yes, yes. Just now Mu Bai was kidnapped, which may indicate that he is very important. What I said is not unreasonable, but I am curious why Mu Bai is called Iron Man. Have you noticed that Mr. Mu Bai seems to have nothing to do with the forward-looking vocabulary mentioned above so far? It seems like that's true. What the upstairs said is correct, I agree. Amidst everyone's confusion, the visuals were rapidly circulating. The screen above the sky show a different style than before. A row of golden barrage drifted up. 36 hours before being attacked, famous city blockade. Las Vegas Tony Stark, Munich, a completely different, as if emotionally charged AI is reading Mu Bai's background. Inventors. Genius, son of Howard Stark, descendant of the legendary weapon dealer. When he was very young, he showed off his superhuman talent. When Mu Bai was 4 years old, he designed his own first circuit board. At the age of 6, Mu Bai successfully designed the first engine to cause a sensation worldwide. 17-year-old Mu Bai graduated from the world's best university in science and engineering with the highest GPA in his department. At the same time, he graduated and self-taught a PhD in over 10 subjects. Unfortunately, in the same year, his father passed away. Mu Bai's lifelong ally, Obadiah Stani, stood up and stabilized the flag of Stark Industry. Until the 21-year-old Mu Bai prodigal son turned around and lost his way. Mu Bai, who had just returned, took on the heavy responsibility of being the CEO of Stark Company. After Mu Bai gained the leadership of Stark Industries, he transformed the kingdom left by his father into a brand new empire. This is a brand new era. Mu Bai has developed intelligent weapons, advanced robots, and satellite-assisted aiming systems. Until today, Stark Industries has revolutionized the weapons industry. He is a great person defending world peace. A round of applause rang out. Documentary films belonging to Mu Bai's personality have also disappeared. The camera turned to a stage for awards. Good guy, does this belong to watching documentaries in the cinema? It's really another new realm of nesting dolls. Ha ha ha, what the upstairs said makes a lot of sense. Whether or not to say, Mu Bai's past life was indeed impressive. With so many introductions, I learned some of Mu Bai's strengths. It can be seen that Mu Bai's brain is indeed very intelligent. He has been a prodigy since childhood. I feel that Mu Bai's father is also very powerful. Indeed, he is a tiger father without any sons of dogs. On the top floor. After the applause dissipated, an officer in a suit began his performance. I am very honored. Working with geniuses like Mu Bai and patriots. Meanwhile, Mu Bai is also my friend. He is also my best teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, let's announce this year's Peak Award to Mu Bai. Applause rang out. When the spotlight of the award ceremony lights up, the seat where someone should have stood up was empty. Sure, I admire you very much, Rhode silently cursed in his heart. Fortunately, someone appeared at the rescue scene at this time. A bald man with a white beard. It is not difficult to see that he is the man who just appeared in the documentary. Obadiah Stani. The man has a very kind face, like a kind old man. For Mu Bai-shan, who is not present at the moment. The old man spoke slowly until the last sentence. His greatest strength is also his greatest weakness. He only knows about work. The screen in the sky flashed again. The screen has arrived at Mu Bai. At this moment, Mu Bai is embracing both sides. Crazy betting on a blocked table. He only knows about work. New book seeking data. The humble author requests great support from all readers. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Chapter 6. Kelly, close your eyes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Laugh to death, this is really good for exposure. Ha 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 ha, I'm laughing to death. Is this Mu Bai who only knows work? Oh Mu, I really laugh to death. This past life exposure system will come to life. It's truly an exposure system from a past life, it's really exposure. Mu Bai's life is truly full of drama. I want to apply to add chicken legs to Mu Bai's exposure system. In the extraordinary chat group Otto. Is a character with such a powerful exposure system also so humorous? It's really interesting. Haha, no way, really good at manipulating this exposure system. I'm curious if this exposure system has an affair with Aha. Although, in my eyes, it's really funny said the lively and beautiful girl. March 7th, Mu Bai, a diver, said, the editing of this exposure system makes me a bit hesitant to speak. Hurry up, hurry up. The main leader is here, let's quickly mock him, master who doesn't need to be like this. We have received professional training. Unless we can't help it, haha, said Zhong Li, a casual member of a certain society. Wendy, a bard who enjoys drinking, said, I cry to death. He really loves work. Seasonal ingredients, Pai Meng. Laugh, Pai Meng. JPG, Mu Bai is currently wearing a sexy red shirt. Being flirtatious with the beautiful woman next to me. However, at this moment, the troublemaker suddenly appeared. Upon closer inspection, this is not Colonel Rhode who just came to award the award to Mu Bai. It's obvious that someone's mood is really not good. I really have you, Mu Bai. Like a resentful little daughter. Lol. Mu Bai's gaze scanned his friend who had been with him for many years, and he suddenly understood something. Do they force you to award awards? Rhode shook his head and then looked at Mu Bai and said. No, they didn't force me to do anything. Mu Bai shrugged his shoulders. Oh, that's really regrettable. Before Mu Bai could finish speaking, Rhode continued. They told me. If I were to award the award, you, Mu Bai, would feel very honored. I am certainly honored because it was you who presented me with the award. Mu Bai continued. When will the awards be presented? Rhode picked up the trophy in his hand and handed it to Mu Bai. Right now. Please accept your award. Mu Bai awkwardly scratched his head. I'm very sorry. Never mind, it's okay. Anyway, you've been like this all along, Rhode replied. See you later. Tomorrow is very important, never be late. Before leaving the blockage, Rhode admonished Mu Bai. Okay. You can have 100 hearts. Mu Bai man said without careful consideration. It's not a joke. When Rhode was about to leave, he said again to Mu Bai. Like an old lady who gives countless instructions. I know, wait until Rhode turns around. Mu Bai then handed over the trophy just now from Rhode. This is a trophy with extraordinary significance, symbolizing extremely high personal honor. Randomly give it to a male cozer. This matches you very well, Mr. Mu Bai. I'm sorry. Mr. Mu Bai. Mu Bai, who had left the hall and was preparing to take his luxury car home. I heard a different sound. This voice is slightly coquettish. Mu Bai, who had no interest, stopped in his tracks. Christian Rodriguez. I am a journalist for Global Economics magazine. Excuse me, may I ask you a few questions? Mu Bai turned his head and glanced at the lady in front of him. I have a good figure, a pleasant voice, and a decent face. I feel a bit bored tonight. Mu Bai suddenly had some thoughts. Asking towards his butler. What should I do? The butler who has been following Mu Bai for many years. Glancing at Mu Bai's gaze. I almost understood Mu Bai's thoughts in an instant. Cooperating harmoniously. Let her ask. This voice is controlled to the extent that the lady can hear it. Hello, madam. Mu Bai turned around. Can we start now? Of course, madam. Madam begins to ask. You have always been known as the most powerful abstract painter of modern times. What is your opinion on this? My opinion is. It has nothing to do with me. What do you think of the title, Death Messenger? After hearing this sentence, Mu Bai paused. Okay. Mississippi. This world is not perfect. But we have no other choice. Wait until the day when weapons are no longer needed to defend peace. I will start contributing to world peace. I will produce equipment for children's hospitals. Caught a woman who was not right, interrupted Mu Bai's speech. Excuse me. Are you memorizing your lines? Mu Bai has no awkwardness. Every night before going to bed, I have to train in front of the mirror. I can tell you're well prepared. Mu Bai interrupted the lady's conversation. I invite you to go and observe on site. The lady did not refuse, but instead accepted Mu Bai's invitation. As long as you answer my question seriously. After listening to this sentence, Mu Bai instantly gained motivation. Okay, my father said so. Only when you are thicker than other sticks can you achieve peace. That's a wise saying. What the arms dealer said is really different, the lady replied. My father's contribution to world peace. They are all displayed in history books. Any university professor, including you, calls him a hero. But still, many people say he made war money. Mu Bai took off his glasses. Tell me, are you willing to report? Stark Industries has saved over billions of dollars in funds by improving medical technology. Or relying on smart crops to prevent the occurrence of famine. All of this cannot be separated from funds, madam. Mu Bai, who has been infiltrating the business world for many years. The intimidating momentum is fully unleashed. He immediately suppressed the little journalist in front of him. Make someone's heart blossom with joy. Dry firewood touches a blazing fire. Honorary Night Sister, what is Mr. Mu Bai doing? Kelly, close your eyes. The new book period data is particularly important. I hope all readers can strongly support me. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Seeking a wave of fresh flowers. Review vote. Monthly pass. Thank you very much, readers. Chapter 7. Water God is Mu Bai's secretary. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Looking at the intense visuals on the screen. Whether it's bullet comments or extraordinary chat groups. It all seemed like a collective disconnection in an instant. At the same time looking at my past life's admiration for Bai. I also feel a bit at a loss. Isn't it? Is this so-called past life exposure system really exposing everything? Brother, don't you want a little face? Fortunately. The in-depth interview session did not take long. The screen that was exposed just passed by. Otherwise, some parents will have to start reporting. Even Mu Bai himself felt that it was a bit too much. At this point, a rolling barrage appears. Caught everyone's attention. Whether or not to say, Mu Bai's figure in his past life was really good. This abdominal muscle, chest muscle. TSK. The unknown female netizen present was ignited by this female seppi. In an instant, this barrage group began to struggle. Mr. Mu Bai's abdominal muscles are so beautiful, I really want to go up and touch them. Mr. Mu Bai is really charming, I really want to press Mu Bai to the ground. I really want to make Mr. Mu Bai cry. He should look good when he cries, right? Countless cars were flying, and the tires were almost crushing Mu Bai's face. This is not a car heading to kindergarten. I need to get off the car. Mu Bai also silently typed out his own words in the barrage. I didn't expect it. As Mu Bai spoke, the barrage became even more excited. Even the screen was filled with snowflakes of harmonious symbols. Mu Bai, I want Mu Bai. Such as. The speech was so overwhelming that even the exposure system activated the barrage blocking words. I don't blame these women. Different from the traditional Tony Stark. Mu Bai's past life had some capital. Mu Bai himself carries the bloodline of a highly esteemed demon. Even Mu Bai himself doesn't know. Moreover, the Meima bloodline can be spread visually. The previous life exposure system effectively showcased Mu Bai's demonic bloodline. It is very easy for the general public to fall. Superiors can still avoid a bit. Good morning, it's exactly 7 o'clock in the morning. Jarvis's unique intelligent butler voice rang out. Wake up the lady who had a crazy night with Mu Bai yesterday. Below is today's temperature report. The originally black walls between instantly changed. Transformed into a pure glass screen. Through the oversized French window. Miss Christie saw the beautiful scenery by the seaside outside. Silently murmuring in my heart. Evil capitalists. The camera gradually zoomed out. A pure white seaside villa emerged. Mu Bai. Mu Bai, where are you? Wandering among countless square meters of villas. Christie spoke softly. I want to find yesterday's lover. Looking at the luxurious decorations around her, she couldn't keep her eyes open. Quickly, a switch with a strong sense of technology attracted her. You have no right to enter this area, miss. Gently touched the switch. The loud noise startled her greatly. That's Jarvis, the electronic butler here. Another pleasant sound came. The camera turns to a woman with blonde hair and blue eyes. She is holding a pure white dress in her hand. It's not difficult to find. This is what the lady in front of me was wearing yesterday. This is your clothes. The smart butler has washed and ironed it. There is a car downstairs waiting for you outside. You can go anywhere you want. As soon as the conversation ended, the female journalist began her own speech. You must be the famous little chili pepper. You're right, Peggy replied. After so many years, Mu Bai still lets you do these miscellaneous things. Paired with a contemptuous expression, Christie looked at Peggy with some teasing. Peggy's expression remained unchanged as she continued with the remarks of the female journalist. I will do whatever Mr. Mu Bai needs me to do. This also includes handling leftovers. Is there anything else? Right now. A golden text lit up. The previous life exposure system has taken action. The entangled person of fate appears Pepper Potts, current world. Fengdan water god of the Tivat continent. Funina, the appearance of this subtitle instantly ignites the atmosphere of barrage and group chat. Tivat continent. Everyone was somewhat shocked. Especially the people of Fengdan. Thousands of bullet comments burst open in an instant, filling the entire bullet pool. This is too outrageous. What is this situation? Mubai is actually related to our Fengdan deity. Our great water god, in his past life, was actually the secretary of this Mubai. Does anyone pinch me and see if I'm dreaming? The current scene is a bit too dreamy. No, does anyone think that the water god lord is very confident? One sentence makes your opponent speechless. I'm a bit envious, jealous, and resentful of this Mubai. How could he possibly establish a connection with the water god? Just as the barrage was boiling. The deity located in Fengdan. Funina. I am a participant in my past life. It's even more confusing. She never thought of it. Eating melons actually hits one's own head. In my past life, I was actually the secretary in front of me named Mu Bai. The first day's results are crucial. Decided whether this book can survive. The author pleads with all readers to support us with flowers and tickets. Please. Kneel down and thank you, JPG. Chapter 8 Rhode. I really don't drink. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, her mind went blank. However, even so. The moment I saw Peggy. Funina still felt a connection between the two worlds. She can be certain. This past life exposure system is telling the truth. She was originally sitting at a high place. Suddenly sat up straight. She wants to know what her past life was like. And that's so. Called Mu Bai. What is the relationship with her? The screen flashed again. Rock music serves as background music. Wake up the Tivat crowd who were just in shock. I saw Mu Bai accompanied by the song. Started repairing an engine. Show me the data, Jarvis. As Mu Bai's voice came. The computer screen in front of me began to display detailed data of the engine. There is a problem with the cylinder. At this moment. Funina, outside the door entered Mu Bai's workbench. Proficiently turned down the music sound. Don't turn down my music, Peggy. Mu Bai constantly improves the engine in front of him. You should be on the other half of this planet now. Peggy said. How is her attitude? Mu Bai ignored Peggy and asked about the situation of the female journalist. Peggy shook her head and said helplessly. High-toed and full of energy. Later, it was some interaction between secretaries and bosses. Report work. However. In their conversation. Mixed with a lot of digressions. Not only that, their eyes kept staring at each other. I always feel a bit ambiguous. Has anyone been hitting CP? I always think that Lord Water God and Mu Bai are a perfect match. On the rooftop. It feels like a couple who have known each other for many years. Seeing these barrage comments, Mu Bai couldn't calm down a bit. No, buddy. Are you prophets? If this continues, you'll have to guess my underwear. The screen rotates. A cool white sports car flashed by. A luxurious and low-key black vehicle was speeding behind. But the speed is much slower than the flashy vehicles ahead. Mu Bai got off the handsome white supercar. Then a person got off the black car from behind. Hey! Mu Bai, your speed is still so fast. A silly little chubby guy got off the black Rolls Royce. Baby, men can't say fast. Mu Bai turned around handsome and walked towards his private plane. Why are you late again? A familiar voice sounded. Mu Bai looked up. It's his good friend Colonel Rhode. 3 hours. If it had taken off 3 hours ago, it might have been almost there. Rhode, who continued to complain, continued to be like a little resentful woman. Please, what can I do if the car breaks down? Mu Bai patted Rhode as if comforting the little dog. The silly little chubby man picked up Mu Bai's luggage. Let's go. Take off. On the plane. Mu Bai looked at Rhode, who had a dull expression and was reading the newspaper. Firstly, it sparked the topic. What are you looking at, good brother? I didn't see anything, just take a look. Alright, don't I know you yet? Don't get angry, it's not good for people's health. You need to learn to be like me and be happy, Rhode said indifferently. I'm not angry. Sorry, I will apologize. Rhode. Mu Bai continued. I said I wasn't angry. You don't need to apologize. Rhode replied. At this moment, a model-level flight attendant slowly walked over. May I ask what you want to drink? Mr. Mu Bai. As a flight attendant on Mubai's private plane. The appearance and professional ability are absolutely up to standard. Moreover, Mu Bai's salary has always been very generous. No one wouldn't like this job. Not caring about Rhode's incessant chatter. Mu Bai quickly found his target. 2 glasses of sake, please. Thank you. I don't drink. We are currently on a mission, do you know, Mu Bai? We're working. Even if you pour me wine, I won't drink it. The screen rotates again. Rhode and Mu Bai are hooked up. 2 people are holding a bottle of wine in each hand. Laughing and frolicking. It is accompanied by rock songs and energetic programs. The flight attendant on the plane changed into a cooler uniform. Performing hard in a private jet exclusive KTV. That's what I mean, Mu Bai. Rhode had a playful smile on his face. It's as if it wasn't him who was angry just now. I know. Ha ha ha, I am now more certain that this exposure system is closely related to the Joyful God sect. I'm laughing to death. This exposure system knows how to expose. I always feel like this exposure system is amazing, it can make me laugh to death every time I'm bored. Within the extraordinary chat group, Sangbo. Yo yo yo, the unfolding of this plot really makes me, Sangbo, have to doubt it. Sangbo. Even if the exposure system is not the leader of joy, it definitely has some attributes of being a happy person. Fireworks. Indeed, although AHA is quite powerful, this global or even cross-world exposure system is not something that AHA can accomplish. You're right, AHA, Wendy. I always feel like this Mubai has some passion for Rhode too. Kaya. You're really hungry, Bard. What's on your mind, what's on your mouth, said Dialect Wendy. No, look at them, don't they really look like a cute little couple? Singer. Your focus seems to be particularly different. Let me prove that it's really just a good friend relationship, said Mu Bai. Don't be misled by a drunken man who only knows how to drink. Mu Bai. Heart, everything looks dirty. New book upload, seeking flower tickets. Dear readers. If the data is good, humble authors will have the motivation to update. Woo woo. Chapter 9. Art is Explosion. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The audience cheered and laughed. Only Mu Bai's injured world has been completed. The plane landed. Mu Bai walked off the plane with his naughty glasses on. Afghan region, base in the United States. Welcome our genius, Mr. Mu Bai. A senior officer with gray hair reached out his hand. Mu Bai treats the Gold Lord. There is still some tolerance. Reached out his hand and shook hands in a friendly manner. We are looking forward to your weapon display. The senior officer said to Mu Bai. Mu Bai gave a gentle smile. I won't disappoint you. Within the weapon experimental base. Mu Bai, dressed in a suit, began his introduction. Is it frightening or respectable? In my opinion. With my Mu Bai's strength, it's not a problem to have both. Now I want to introduce to you a new weapon that belongs to my own high-quality research and development. Some people say that the best weapon may not be needed. I have reservations about this. I think the best weapon can move on its own. I believe these weapons will be very suitable for combating these arrogant terrorists. As Mu Bai finished speaking, he lightly waved his hand and snapped his fingers. Several new missiles developed by Mu Bai have begun to launch. Continuously exploding in the air, turning into countless sets of missiles. Now, let me solemnly recommend Stark's Boutiques. Jericho Missile. Mu Bai's voice has just ended. He spread out his hands. Jericho accurately hits every anticipated location. A burst of shockwave came, complementing the coordination of Mu Bai at this moment. Unparalleled power paired with precise strikes, truly you, Mu Bai. The old man with white hair said. The barrage also exploded in that moment. This kind of explosion scene, let alone, it's definitely a man's romance. I really love you. I, Li Chia, would like to call you the strongest. At this point, it has become art. Art is explosion. Real men never look back at explosions. This wave has indeed been disguised by Mu Bai. The shockwave roared away, bringing dust to the ground. At this point, the coquettish glasses prepared by Mu Bai came in handy. I have long known the power of the missiles I invented and created. The anti-dust function is well prepared. However, the officers watching from the side did not have such foresight. The dust brought by the shock wave covered me in dust. I'm used to bringing champagne to my clients. Mu Bai picked up the wine glass in his hand. Slowly pour champagne into one's own glass. He picked up his glass and headed back. At this moment, a call came to Mu Bai's phone. Familiar bald head. It's Obadiah Stanny. Mu Bai. Seeing his familiar uncle, Mu Bai didn't tighten his grip either. Uncle Oba, why haven't you fallen asleep yet? I don't know the result, I can't sleep, Mu Bai. How is the situation now? Mu Bai looked relaxed. Everything goes smoothly. It seems that we are going to make a big profit this time. Hey. My handsome guy. You did great. See you tomorrow, okay? Mu Bai stared at his phone and glanced at Obadiah Stanny. Why don't you wear the pajamas I bought for you? The old man did not reply to Mu Bai. Good night, Mu Bai. Just as Mu Bai got on the car, an officer chased after him. Hey, Mu Bai. This is not your car was in the previous one. Mu Bai waved his hand. It's okay, it's all the same to me. See you at the base. At this moment, the god in the barrage exploded. So, everything forms a logical closed loop. At the beginning, the champagne in Mu Bai's hand was just celebrating the order. The car in front is the one Mu Bai was bombed before. If Mu Bai was sitting in the car in front of him, Mu Bai might have gone west now. So, Mu Bai still has some luck in him. No, I reasonably suspect that this time is related to the bald guy just now. Oh. It's so impressive, I'll take a look first. +1 Mu Bai was also watching barrage while paddling in the water. However, even so, he still marvels at the vast imagination of contemporary netizens. Surprisingly, I almost guessed the real answer. The book continues from the previous chapter. In a vague dream, Mu Bai saw himself on the operating table. He is covered in blood all over. The humble author pleads with all readers to support us with flowers and tickets. Please. Kneel down and thank you, JPG. Chapter 10. Face the camera with a smile. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In a hazy state. Mu Bai felt immense pain. Difficult to describe. The body, in order to protect itself, closes the feedback of pain. Until my eyes turned completely black. The bizarre and fragmented dreams. Mu Bai, feeling dizzy, also felt very uncomfortable. The feeling of willpower being pulled and then torn apart. No one wants to recall it for the second time. After an unknown amount of time, Mu Bai finally woke up. It seems like I feel difficulty breathing. Mu Bai first looked towards his chest. A long gastric tube. Connected to the stomach through his nasal cavity. Suppressing the unbearable feeling. Mu Bai exhausted all his strength. Slowly pull out the long gastric tube in front of you. An indescribable strong burning sensation. Suddenly, Mu Bai's lungs were burning hot. I couldn't help but start coughing. Muscles that affect the lungs. The uncomfortable feeling in the respiratory tract made Mu Bai instinctively search for a water source. But he just recovered. I don't have the ability to precisely control my arms yet. I accidentally knocked over the water cup by the bedside. Following Mu Bai's gaze, he looked aside. A white-bearded old man wearing glasses is working on cleaning his beard. Mu Bai wanted to struggle up. If it were me, I wouldn't have put in that effort. The leisurely voice of the old man with a white beard came. Mu Bai heard the old man's words and looked towards the other side of the bed. Finally discovered the anomaly. A long black wire. Connected to the old battery next to me. And the other end of the black wire. Connected is Mu Bai's chest. In an instant, Mu Bai's mind fell into a void. He began to become irritable, feeling extremely panicked. Suddenly, a burst of strength erupted. Crazy tearing at the bandage wrapped around his chest. After a moment, a circular black disc emerged. See this picture. Mu Bai's hanging heart finally died. Mu Bai, who has not shed tears for a long time. The corners of the eyes began to moisten. A little time has passed. The old man with white beard began to gather around the firewood, using a long wooden stick to straighten the stove. Sitting on the bed, Mu Bai finally regained some rationality. What have you done to me? Mu Bai, feeling down, spoke up. What did you do? The old man chuckled softly. I saved your little life. I will do my best. Take out all the shrapnel from your body. But the rest. It still exists in your heart valve. As he spoke, the old man took out a small bottle next to his hand. Here. Do you want to see it? This is my souvenir. The shrapnel removed from your body. After speaking, he threw the small bottle to Mu Bai. Mu Bai looked at the bottle in his hand. Slowly rotating. Carefully examined the iron plates inside the bottle. Many people in our town have suffered from this kind of injury. They also have another name. Dead alive. Because all that's needed is about a week's time. These shrapnel will enter their hearts. What is this? Mu Bai withdrew his gaze from observing the bottle and interrupted the old man's words. The old man followed Mu Bai's gaze, looking towards Mu Bai's chest. This is an electromagnet, powered by the car's battery. By relying on the magnetic force provided by the magnet, the shrapnel in your chest will not enter your heart. Mu Bai got the explanation he wanted. Pull up the zipper on your chest. Glancing around the environment. The darkness is boundless and gloomy. It is also covered with surveillance footage of a vast network. Seeing Mu Bai's actions, the old man turned his head and also glanced at the surveillance footage that Mu Bai was watching. After discovering that Mu Bai was aware of the surveillance footage, he began his own humor. Keep a smile in front of the camera. Ha ha ha, this old man is really humorous. I always feel that Mr. Mu Bai is very uncomfortable now, and I feel a little distressed. Mu Bai. You're right, but why do I want to bully Mu Bai more when he's such a sick beauty now? He. Why did Mr. Mu Bai zip up? I also want to see Mr. Mu Bai's abdominal muscles. After the old man's humorous words ended, he continued to speak. Mr. Mu Bai, we have actually met before. Mu Bai shifted his attention to the old man's words. At a scientific and technological conference. I can't remember clearly, Mu Bai replied. You can't remember, the old man continued. I'm drunk like you, I might have lost the ability to stand up long ago. However, let it be that way. I still gave a nearly perfect circuit course to the attendees of that meeting. It has to be said that Mr. Mu Bai, your abilities are indeed exceptional. Where is this? Mu Bai asked in reverse. I haven't waited for the old man to answer yet. The iron door outside the door had a different movement. The humble author pleads with all readers to support us with flowers and tickets. Please. Kneel down and thank you, JPG.